Hi, my name is Esther. I'm going to be reviewing a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I've reviewed the first part before, so you can go to my previous video and check it out. So this part is called The Big Secret of Dealing with People. It has three parts, and the first part is giving people what they want. The second part is using appreciation and encouragement, and the third part is not using flattery. I'm going to start with giving people what they want. So Dale Carnegie says that the big secret of dealing with people is giving them what they want. And people's wants are predictable. For example, we want good health, we want food, we want money, we want success in our businesses, we want fruitful partnerships, we want our children to excel, we want to have a feeling of importance and to excel in whatever we do. Almost all these needs are gratified, except the desire to be great or the desire to be important. Dale Carnegie brings a philosopher, an American philosopher called John Dewey, into the picture, and he says that this philosopher said, the deepest urge in human nature is the desire to be important. Abraham Lincoln, in one of his letters, also wrote that everybody likes a compliment, and don't we all? William James, the first educator to offer a psychology course, said the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. The rare individual who satisfies this hunger will hold people at the palm of their hands. Dale Carnegie highlights that a chief distinguishing feature between human beings and animals is that human beings have the need to be important. Animals rarely do, or they never do. You'll never find a cow wanting to produce the most milk in the herd, but you'll find human beings competing to be the best in a company, competing to be the best in the industry, competing to be the best in our workplace. So that's the difference between human beings and animals. Dale also goes ahead and says that it is this desire for a feeling of importance that led an uneducated, poverty-stricken grocery clerk to study some law books that he found in the bottom of a barrel and bought for 50 cents. This grocery clerk went on to become America's prominent president, and it's none other than Abraham Lincoln. It is that need to be better than a grocery clerk that led him to study his law books and become great and magnificent, even though he was uneducated. He became one of the most significant presidents, if I may say, one of the presidents that most of us recognize around the world and are aware of. Dale Carnegie goes ahead and says that the same desire made Rockefeller amass millions in wealth that he never used. The desire makes us want to wear the latest styles, drive the best cars, and talk about the brilliance of our children. It's the desire to what important thing is happening in my life? What can I talk to people about? What is this hobby that I'm so good at that I want to tell people about? That desire, if you figure out what makes people important, you'll be able to have them at the palm of your hands. You'll be able to satisfy their urge to talk about something that makes them great. Dale Carnegie goes ahead and mentions that if someone was to tell you how they got their feeling of importance, you'll have a clear idea of what that person is about, because that determines their character. That is the most significant thing about you. What gives you the feeling of importance? John Rockefeller got his feeling of importance from building a hospital in China to care for millions of people, of poor people. In this, he got his feeling of importance. So ask yourself what gives you the feeling of importance and try to identify what this is in other people. Thus, you'll become a better people person by identifying this need that people rarely do. Dale Carnegie goes ahead and talks about another part of dealing with people, another secret. And this secret is giving people a feeling of importance by appreciating and encouraging them. Dale Carnegie emphasizes the miraculous impact giving people honest appreciation has. He gives an example of Charles Schwab, one of the first people to be paid a salary of $1 million in 1921 as a steel company president. And he knew this too well, how to give people a sense of importance. He said that he considered his ability to arouse enthusiasm among his people the greatest asset he possessed, and the way to develop that was by appreciation and encouragement. In his words, he added, "There's nothing else that so kills the ambitions of a person as criticism from superiors." This is, for example, when your boss criticizes your work, when they call you out, usually done publicly or even privately done in a critical and diminishing manner. Charles Schwab says that, in his words, "I never criticize anyone. I believe in giving a person incentive to work. So I am anxious to praise but loath to find fault. If I like anything, I am hearty in my approbation and lavish in my praise." I think that says it all, because if you're giving someone praise, you should give it as much as you can. And if you find an opportunity to actually praise someone's work, you should go for it. Don't leave it unattended. You should always give the praise, be minimal in your criticism, and if you have to correct, do it in a kind manner. Dale Carnegie, he encourages and people to strive not to criticize. If you like someone's work, make sure you mention it. Don't be quiet. Give lavish praise where the need arises. Nourish people's self-esteem. For example, you can praise your partner, your child, your employee, your friends. With children, nothing pleases them more than parental interest and approval. The third part of the biggest secret of dealing with people, Dale Carnegie encourages that you should not use flattery. Appreciation and encouragement should not be confused for flattery. He says that it is quick to mention that flattery seldom works with discerning people. It is shallow, selfish, and insincere. It out to fail, and it usually does. In the long run, flattery will do you more harm than good, even though some people are quick to swallow anything. Appreciation comes from the heart. Flattery is cheap praise, and everyone should learn not to take it. He says that you should not run for flattery. Any appreciation should come from the heart, and you should be honest, because flattery may work for some individuals in the short run because they won't realize it, but eventually it will be clear that it is counterfeit, and it's not coming from the heart, and it's not sincere, and no one wants to be around dishonesty. Same as counterfeit money, it may work in some outlets and some shops, but eventually it's people get caught up and it doesn't work in the long run. Dale Carnegie continues and says that we should try and leave a friendly trail of little sparks of gratitude on our daily trips. You'll be surprised how they will set small flames of friendship that will arise beacons on your next visit. Send word to the chef that their meal was magnificently made, and praise a tired salesperson for their unusual courtesy. Dale Carnegie clearly says that don't forget to give the small praises, because it's very rare to run into people twice. So when you can, give the praise, applaud people for their efforts, and always give that thumbs up, whether it's your children when they make the smallest achievements, whether it's your parents when they're starting new courses or new businesses, whether it's your partner when they're doing well or at work, or when they listen to something that you request for. Thank you for joining me through this second part. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.